December tarot reading. It's Allie, your friendly mystic. Whether you're new or old here, I'm so happy to have you. It's great to share energy and space with you. It's a real blessing to be able to do this, so thank you for being here. Now, if you're familiar with tarot readings on YouTube, or familiar with YouTube, or familiar with my tarot readings on YouTube, you can jump to this timestamp here to get right into the reading. Otherwise, if you're new or you'd like a refresher, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe you just don't want to click a timestamp. I don't know. You can stick around and get a couple, a quick guide, a quick rundown of how I approach tarot reading, any disclaimer, things like that. Just housekeeping things, so people are all on the same page, and can interpret their readings the best way they can. So first things first is that this reading is intended for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, as well as any other particularly important Pisces placements. An example would be a Jupiter in Pisces. That would be a really good placement to watch for. The Venus in Pisces would also be really great to watch for. Even Mercury in Pisces, just because it's notable. Mercury in Pisces is very debilitated. I don't mean that to say it's a bad placement, but Mercury doesn't do its Mercury thing as well in Pisces. I mean, try talking underneath the water. I think that kind of gets the point across. um, so there's that. My readings are timeless, so this isn't meant for a particular time period. It's not meant for the month it's posted in. It's just when I post it. It's just a scheduling thing I do to keep myself on track, as well as to feed YouTube's algorithm. It seems to like monthlies, things like that. So this is my go at that. So don't get caught up on the time. If you find this a year from now, months from now, years from now even, that means it was meant to find you. If the title particularly resonates with you, then very likely this reading is for you. So don't get caught up on the date, really. My readings are also very general, so that means that the way I read readings, it can be I'm reading energy in and around you. So I do. I gotta get this spiel like the same every time, but I do want to point out that I will read a reading from the point of view of a protagonist very often, or like the subject of the reading, and I might talk to the subject as though I'm talking to them directly. You may not be the subject or the I guess the protagonist of the reading. I don't know if that makes sense. It may be somebody you know, and you might be a player in that. The reading could be about somebody you know who's close to you. I do try to kind of make the reading apply most specifically to you if I can, but energy is fluid. It doesn't express itself in exactly the same way in everybody's life. So if it sounds familiar, it resonates, but it's not necessarily like you're the main character of it, I guess, or it's the other person in the situation that you're getting a read on, then you can still take the reading. It doesn't invalidate the reading. Also, details may come up during the reading that don't perfectly fit with your situation. That's just going to happen. Those messages are meant for confirmation for other people. If it doesn't resonate, leave it. That's it. Take what resonates and leave the rest is really a great way to live. Great way to live, period, but also a great way to interpret YouTube tarot readings. Also, because these are so general, I can't possibly read for every single Pisces placement at once. Not possible for me. I am not God. I am only a fragment. So I feel as though I will read most effectively for people who resonate with me as a reader, as a person maybe, I don't know, as well as people who need this message. So you may resonate with me as a reader, but this message is not one you need, so this message won't be for you. Simple as that. So I don't do tarot readings as entertainment. I don't do tarot readings as just for pleasure. I don't think that the oracle really works just for fun. You know what I mean? I think you really have to have something pressing, or something that spirit really wants to communicate to you through the oracle, if you were actually going to use it. So also, small disclaimer. I do say it's small, but I always prattle on about it. But just a disclaimer around the words feminine and masculine. I use those words to describe energy, not to describe gender identity, gender expression, or genitalia. I really am describing energy with those words. So all of us possess feminine and masculine energy. So depending on what situation we're in, we may exhibit or utilize feminine or masculine energy, um, depending on what's called for or what we unconsciously tend to do. So, or, consciously choose to do, you know what I mean? So, yeah. If you hear me talk about a feminine energy, I'm not talking specifically about a woman, unless I usually will state this could be a mother and a father, or this could be daughter, mother. I might make things like that. I might make observations like that. Those will be confirmation for somebody else. So don't get caught up on the gender if I even put a gender to the card. Um, there's one more thing I wanted to make sure I pointed out before I finished. Uh, oh, if those words are loaded for you, feminine and masculine, that is, um, I those words resonate for me. Those are the ones that work for me, so I will continue to use them. But think of them more like yin and yang, projective, receptive, instead of maybe feminine and masculine. If those words carry some baggage for you, it might be helpful to kind of just replace them in your head. I think there's something else that I was trying to get to, but I don't remember. Oh, yes. So yeah, I think I mentioned this kind of, but if I describe somebody as a feminine energy, that might not be the predominant mode of energy. It could also be um, the energy they're utilizing or specifically exhibit in the situation that they're in. Not necessarily like their predominant energy. So maybe I'm a very masculine energy person, but in certain situations I will tap more deeply into my feminine energy. Um, and I'm sure that's vice versa for people who are feminine dominant. So, just a couple things to keep in mind. I know that was a mouthful, gobs full, but I think it's time to get right into the reading. So, I like to introduce the format every time I read, but I pull a major arcana card at the beginning of every reading, and this is a card that encapsulates the reading. Is really a reading of the energy around the reading. I'm reading the energy of the reading, I suppose, as well as any life lessons that want to come through as a result of this reading. So, yeah, it does tend to really set the tone for the reading and really get to the heart of what's going on. Um, so, let's get into it. Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, guardian angels, please help me to connect the collective of Pisces and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect the collective of Pisces and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Oh, ooh, come on. Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect the collective of Pisces and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. This one. Oh, ooh. 2? Okay. I usually don't pull 2. But 2 came at the same time, and I was like, huh, interesting. So, okay. It may have needed 2, perhaps, but so we have the strength card here, and then try not to get the glare on there. But we have the strength card. This is my version of strength, and then the Hierophant in reverse. So I'll hold these up individually for you to look at. That's the Hierophant. Maybe I'll show you upright so you can see. And then the strength. Now let's try to hold these up together even though they're huge. So immediately when I first pulled these, so they came in this order. So Hierophant in reverse and then strength. I feel as though there is I felt like a controlling kind of Hierophant energy. The Hierophant in reverse can be very dogmatic and stuck in their ways, think they know best, even though they need to be. Actually, I find that when the Hierophant is in reverse, it's the student that needs to be teaching the teacher, and the teacher doesn't hear. I feel as though with the Hierophant being a teacher of sorts, a guide of sorts, um, there's always a reciprocity and exchange between teacher and student. A teacher should never know everything and should always honor the kinds of perspective, the new perspective, the fresh eyes of the student, because they will see things that the teacher cannot see because they've had that because the expertise kind of blinds us to the things that we think we know. And when we come in with unknowing, or not unknowing, but not knowing, we come in with not knowing, and we come in with no expectations or nothing. We come in unburdened. We can really get to the point, or get more clarity, or see things new, or see things that weren't seen before, that an expert might not be able to see. So there's this feeling of control around that. Or perhaps this is a runaway kind of dogmatic feeling. This feels very much like the Jupiter and Saturn. This Hierophant feels like Jupiter Saturn conjunct, or Jupiter in Capricorn, where which is Jupiter in its fall. It can't expand. It can't really be the teacher and the guide, the higher perspective that Jupiter is. It gets so grounded and bogged down in I guess the mundane expression of what it once was. I'm not sure if that connects. It's kind of like going through the motions of a religion without actually believing the religion. And there's a sense of feeling chained by it, or wanting to control it. So maybe you have this inner negative Hierophant that speaks into your ear about your religious background, or speaks into your ear about the religious or spiritual path you're taking, and it says nasty things to you, or tells you that's wrong, and you're kind of trying to tame it and get it under control. So this is a very interesting reading. I usually don't pull two of these, so consider yourself lucky, Pisces. But or perhaps this could also indicate the strength to break away, or to forge your own path separate from the dogma you've learned as a child. This energy comes up in a multitude of different ways, but there's definitely a feeling of confinement and constraint that doesn't allow you to grow and blossom, and a need to overcome it, or feeling chained by it. So that's those cards. Look how big they are. They're as big as my face. Oh, here comes my cat. Okay, well, I'm gonna set these up, and I hope she doesn't jump on the table. I'll set these aside, and we'll get right into your reading, Pisces. Alright, Pisces, so I've picked your decks out. I use a tarot deck for the main spread, so I will be using the Gilded Tarot today. If you are interested in any of the decks I have links in the description if they're available for purchase. So this will be for your main spread, and then I pull oracle cards at the end, about 2 or 3 of them, and for advice. And for that I will be using the Romance Angels oracle cards. So this may be about love. It could be about self-love. I don't know, it just called to me, so I'm not really sure what the message will be there. But I know that right now it's about breaking away from and releasing yourself from old paradigms. If it's not like a specifically religious in nature or spiritual in nature, it will be about breaking old paradigms. So what messages do you have for Pisces? What messages do you have for Pisces? 7 of Wands, yep. Really fighting. I'll show you the card up close. Hopefully that won't be... There's the camera. I had to shift the camera over, so it'll be a little different for me. But yeah, really feeling like you're have your back to the door. Really feeling as though I feel like it's when you I like the Rider-Waite version of this card a lot, but it's a figure on top of a hill being attacked from below, which means that you have the upper ground. And even though there's a lot of naysayers, a lot of voices around you that are telling you no, to whatever it is that you're trying to break away from, or trying to start new and fresh. Um, you have the upper hand. You just have a lot to contend with at once. This bodes well for me, as much as it's embroiled in conflict. It could also be just these people don't necessarily have to be actively talking to you or actively fighting you about whatever it is that you are trying to start. It could also just be the negative influence of those people who have instilled in you negative talk around this project or around these whatever it is that you're trying to do. It could be just negative self-talk in general. Excuse me, I am so sorry. I'm not sure why I'm hiccuping. I think it's because I'm talking too fast. What a Gemini problem to have. What are the messages? 9 of Wands, yeah. And then the battle will be over. Hard fought. I feel like a 9 of Wands upright really feels like waiting for the next battle, near defeat things, but this is just a release, getting off the, oh, wrong side, my bad. A release, getting off the battlefield, not having to fight it anymore. I like that. Lots of Wands, so you have a lot of energy so far. We'll see by the end of the spread, but 2 Wands first thing out really says, oh, and then more Wands. Yes. And then a 5 of Wands, yeah. You just expect a lot of conflict around this thing. And I feel as though there is also, I mean, as much as you will be released from this battle, it still weighs on your mind pretty heavily, and it also is negatively impacting your ability to collaborate with people right now. It's like a kind of, I guess, like a sense of shell shock almost. Like you still feel embroiled in the battle even though it's over, and so it leads you into conflict with other people. And then we have this King of Cups, which could be you, Pisces, could be somebody else, but it's in reverse. This could be the figure or a representation of the figure that is kind of naysaying your ability to create this thing. This could be the old paradigm, the figure that represents the old paradigm for you that you are looking to shatter. Which, yeah, I'm all about shattering old paradigms. Oh, that's interesting. That came up reverse, but then it like flipped itself. Yeah, you're gonna flip a lot of things on their head. Because I did not mean to toss it out like that. I'm gonna put it upright because that just feels good. It does feel like you're kind of manifesting things that people told you couldn't manifest. And you're doing so in a way that's unconventional, even for people who, I mean, even for people who are aware of manifestation. But you gotta get around this wound. You gotta get around, you gotta let it be dead. You have to, like, this feels like this conflict here, you have to let it be over. Because right now you're kind of still reliving it and still feeling like the body on the ground. But you have the ability to manifest this thing, and even for people who are familiar with manifestation and familiar with things, are going like, what? You're doing it like that? Well, you can't do it like that. So I feel like you're facing a lot of conflict around, and I think you feel this sense of needing to fight it, because it's something in you, but I think letting it be and letting it go is actually better for you and healthier. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, you can't balance these two things anymore. There's also a choice that's been made. So it's like, okay. So I think you're balancing these thoughts with like the positive manifestations that you're trying to bring in, but you can't manifest as effectively if you're not putting your energy. Essentially what I'm saying is, or you're putting your energy in one place, but essentially what I'm saying is there is resistance that's been built up over time due to naysaying, negative self-talk from maybe bullied, I don't know, something along those lines, but just people filling you with negativity and filling you with and Pisces, you're so absorbent. You're so absorbent. You pick up on the emotions of everyone, and you pick up on the feelings of everyone. So I think there's that reason why you feel like you need to fight it, because if they feel that way, then if you don't fight them, then you'll feel that way, right? You much rather them be your enemy than be your comrade, because I mean, they can't, well, one, they can't be your comrade because they don't agree with you, but even if they don't agree with you, I think you're maybe taking it a little bit personally, which is, I mean, understandable. You have feelings, Pisces, more than most people. Or you feel them more deeply than most people, is what I should say. But it's taking a lot of energy out of you. And it's like, you know, people might disagree with you, and that's okay. They might just disagree with the way you're going about it. They might not even disagree with the end goal. But the more energy you put into trying to defend yourself and trying to, unless they're like posing a real threat to your manifestation, like don't pay them any mind. But right now, I see your energy split between, you know, the way you're fighting your own thoughts and creating resistance by fighting the thoughts in your own brain, or creating resistance with the people around you. I think that this is really, I think whatever you're trying to manifest is really wonderful, honestly. I'm not sure why I feel it's so wonderful, but it just feels new, it feels vibrant, feels different. But really getting some boundaries around the way you feel and not allowing other people's emotions to dictate your emotions is going to be big for you. Alright. Well, I think, honestly, necessary. I do see this King of Cups as being able to influence the way you feel very easily. They seem to have access to you. By being another water sign, they have access to generating feeling in you. And it feels very sincere even, but I don't think this person is necessarily acting in good faith. I don't think this person is acting doesn't have ulterior motives. I think this person might have ulterior motives. So be mindful of who you keep company with. I mean, that it goes back to being absorbent. If people are like naysaying and they're not providing like, oh, have you tried thinking about it this way, or wouldn't it be more like effective if you did this? If they're not trying to support your journey, they're trying to say, well, that's not realistic, you can't do it like this. Don't keep them around you, because they're not manifesting with you. So why would you do that? I see you being kind of like in between two worlds, with this Two of Pentacles here in reverse, and making a decisive decision, because if you try to balance these two, it's not going to work. I think you know that. So you have to decide the kind of people you want to keep company with, and find the people who are like, yeah, I like that, we're going to manifest the shit out of that. Pardon my language. Oh, my cat's not trying to jump on my reading table. It's amazing. I manifested her off my table. Three of Pentacles, Four of Wands. Three of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like this is just the unconventional approach to creating some abundance and happiness. There's almost a feeling of like wanting to make like a co-op farm with like a community of people and live off the grid. Even though the Four of Wands is literally a grid, or like a square, you know what I mean? It's really wanting to build foundations in like a joyous and happy way. And you're really feeling lots of excitement about it. There's so many wands here. There's so many wands. Whoop. Oh, okay. I guess I'm taking all this. The three is kind of just getting to the difficulty of you not having found the people to actually collaborate with and generate that vision with. You won't know you want it. You know it's possible. At least there's a part of you that knows it's possible. There's still part of you that doubts. But, you still are need to find the people you're collaborating with that agree with you. I just saw this. There might be some wounding. I saw that, looked at that just as I was talking about finding your collaboration, or the people you collaborate with. I think there's some wounding around that. Some pain. Because you've been embroiled in this conflict with people. Everybody you talk to about this, or even share, like try to open up and be vulnerable about this with, tries to knock you down a peg, or tries to like make you realistic, quote unquote. And it's painful because you know that this thing is possible, but you don't trust people enough because everyone seems to just shoot you down. And then even if you do bring it up to someone who may be part of that collaboration or could be part of that collaboration, the way you talk about it is feeble. So you're not talking about it with the gusto and the strength to actually manifest those people into your life, because if you don't believe, if you can't talk to them like you believe, then why should they believe you? And there's a Hierophant. Yeah, I see the Page of Cups. So this is the Page of Cups in reverse, and then the Hierophant here with the Four of Cups. Yeah, I really see this Page of Cups turning away from the old ways of doing things that this Hierophant tried to force onto this page. This page is still, I mean, this page is still recovering from that. I think that is part of the wounding we see here in the Three of Swords. I just want to make sure you can see all my cards. Yeah, you can see all the cards. Cool. I think that's part of that wounding, is that you kind of were being fed something that you were just discontent with. It was fine. It serviced you. But there's like this ennui associated with the Four of Cups, this level of discontentment, even though maybe on the surface that offering seems really good. And you're like, this is great, or this is good. There is a part of you that did appreciate what it was that was given to you by the Hierophant, but it wasn't soul satisfying, and it didn't really speak to you, and you just couldn't really accept it as much as you wanted to. And now you kind of have to go your own way. But you're still kind of in this unbalanced place, still recovering from the dogma you were fed. You kind of have to empty out your cup. You have to empty up all of your cups now, because it's filled with the water that was given to you by this Hierophant, given to you by these religious structures or old ways of doing things, old paradigms. So there really is a need to just dump all of it out and refill with pure, healthy water. You know what I mean? Let's see. What else? Any other? What other messages do you have for Pisces? I am talking fast. Wow, I'm talking really fast. I didn't know how long it was going to take me to do this, but it's coming through pretty quickly. Really feeling some mercurial way about today. You know what I'm saying? Usually I'd be at the 20-minute mark now, but I am like 5 minutes ahead of that. Alright, come on. What other messages you got? I know you got more in there. There it is. Excuse me. I wonder if you saw my face when I did that and I had to bend down. Boom, what am I saying? 3 of Cups. You find those people! Yes! Yes, Pisces. That's what I want to see. These are your people. They come through. I think that's the right place, yeah. They exist. You have to believe they exist. When you refill that cup of yours, or your cups, when you dump out the water given to you by the Hierophant, you dump out that Kool-Aid, and you drink from your reserves, your water. You fill up your own cup, you will find other people who feel the way that you do. But right now, when you try to offer your cup, people can still sense the old paradigms that you're still carrying around in your emotional body. You know what I mean? Like, they can almost hear the negative self-talk themselves when you talk about this dream you have. You know, even your dream could, like, well, no, because that's really conventional. I was thinking your dream could just be having, like, a family, or maybe it's, like, an unconventional family. That's interesting. I just got some tingles. Like, just unconventional family. An unconventional family. And then a 6 of Pentacles, and this is going to be a lot of reciprocity between like that. Oh, it just looks so good. Sorry. When you find those people, then the money starts to flow in, the balance, there's an exchange, there's a actual give and take of resources here. So those who have more actually contribute more, and those who have less, everyone contributes in proportion. It's really balanced. That's wonderful. The High Priestess, yes, and you get back in touch with your intuition. And then we see the High Priestess and the Magician flanking this. So, in order to manifest, I think you do need the High Priestess energy, and not just the masculine energy, because otherwise you're not going to understand. You might have the Magician, like, you know, pat down, but there are other blocks and other resistances you might be carrying to your manifestation that you can't be aware of if you're only using Magician energy. If you get into the High Priestess energy, you can actually use your inner wisdom to identify what blockages do I have to my manifestation, why isn't this coming in, what do I need, what am I missing, and it also will give you the next steps, because that's where that voice comes from. So you'll know what next steps to take because you'll be listening and keyed in, as opposed to, and you can receive it more easily, as opposed to being in this very projective masculine magician energy. You get into this High Priestess energy and it comes in. You will be able to attract the people that you're looking for when you are able to do that and get into that feminine energy. I love that. I love that. It looks so good. It feels good. Now, the Ten of Cups here is in reverse, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I genuinely feel like that's just the building of that happy community that it is that you... This is what it feels like. It might not necessarily be a happy community. It could be an unconventional group. I don't know. It does feel like it revolves around a community of some kind. And I mean, I see the Ten of Cups here, but it's just like it's developing, it's building, it's still in the works. You don't see it yet. And I think that's why it's in reverse, is that you don't see it yet, but it is there. One more card. I think we have room for one more. Wow, I am going through this fast. Pisces. Why am I so excited? I'm excited for you. Maybe I'll pull more Four of Swords. Okay. I think there needs to be... I think right now you've been... Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me do a little scooch so that everyone fits. And everyone has their breathing space. Scooch. Okay. That's good enough. So I feel as though right now you've been in a really, really... it's very unusual for you Pisces, because like you want this so bad. You've been getting into masculine mode because that's kind of how the world has conditioned you into, like, oh, if you want something, you do something to get it. But right now there needs to be this sense of rest and a sense of not recollection as a memory, but recollecting of thoughts, refreshing. Like I'm getting like a Mercury retrograde energy where you need to reevaluate some things and really go over what it is that you're thinking about and what kind of... I think this goes back to negative self-talk and the beliefs that you're carrying around, especially in resistance to receiving High Priestess energy. And I just got my crown is getting very tingly. That's usually my spirit guides telling me that I'm on the right track. Yes. Ooh, it's going. And that's part of why the Ten of Cups isn't quite there yet. That right now you're kind of still in this masculine mode. But you need to take some time and take some... It may seem like, gosh, it's so interesting, because like it feels like waiting is doing nothing and thus making the process slower, but a lot of the time we build resistance when we reach out projectively, when we reach out with our masculine energy to try to grab something we want, as opposed to being and waiting and receiving and having something come in without as so much projective energy. In fact, the projective energy gets in the way of receiving a gift. So we need to take some time here, rest, clear our minds, really examine what kinds of thoughts we have going on, and examine what kinds of false beliefs we're carrying, and actually choose a truth that resonates with us and that we know is true. I think Pisces, being Jupiter ruled, has a nose for truth, as particularly emotional truth. And you'll know, if you get quiet, you'll know what it is that you need to hear. I don't want to cut this too short, but it does feel like it's done. I feel as though, I don't know, the Ten of Swords is kind of calling me. I might pull a clarifier on that just to see. The Chariot in reverse, yeah. I think this is the wounding that's really stopping you from moving forward. Really healing yourself and feeling complete and whole and in yourself. This also indicates two competing desires or two competing ways of thought or beliefs that keep you stuck in place. So you're really just spinning your wheels until you can heal this. Until you can heal letting go what other people think about you, letting go what other people say to you on communications. I'm letting go of the limiting beliefs again. And then I will pull, I think I'll pull something on the King of Cups really quickly here. Yeah. This King of Cups has put you in a lack mentality. This is the Five of Pentacles if you could not see. It's a different deck, so maybe I should show these cards more of the time. But I do feel as though this is really just the King of Cups restraining you and trying to keep you in this lack mentality, not on purpose, because that's what they're carrying around as well. Because that's part of the old paradigm, is that, oh, that's not realistic, that can't be done, there's not enough. But Pisces, there is a part of you that knows that abundance is unlimited. There is a part of you that knows that abundance is unlimited. Let me say that again. Ooh, okay, I think I will call it there and read oracle cards for you from the Romance Angels. I'm feeling as though I'm meant to pull a different deck. I might pull two decks, I'm not sure. We'll try these and see what happens. Only because they came to me first, so. But if you're interested in, if you like me as a reader, if you like this reading and you'd like to receive more readings like this, please subscribe. Hit the little bell notification so you can get notified every time I post my monthlies. I do plan on posting other kinds of videos once I get my steam, you know what I mean? As well, if you like this reading and this is a reading for you and you like to exchange energy for the reading, claim it as yours, please hit the like button. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And if you'd like to talk to me about this reading, talk to me about anything really, in good faith, and just discuss how this reading is manifesting in your life, maybe if you're feeling willing to share, feel free to leave a comment. I'm willing to hear any questions, concerns, critiques even, that you'd like to offer. I'm an open book. I really also appreciate comments because it means I'm talking to people and not to my phone alone on YouTube. So it feels nice when I can get some contact. And then last thing, if you were interested in a personal reading from me, I'm resonating with you as a reader and you have something in particular that you'd like clarity on, I have a link in the description to my website, friendlymystic.com, with all of the information to book that reading. Alright, let's get into these oracle cards. Ooh, okay, that's why these were here. Cool, I was right. I think I was just doubting. But forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So that's like the whole that was the whole reading, is like forgiving these people, leaving them behind, leaving what happened in the past so that you can really appreciate your present and create this Ten of Cups. Really create that Ten of Cups. And then in reverse we have pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Now this feels like the flags that people are telling you are there, but you have the intuition, you've had the download at some point that that's not real. Those are illusions that people are afraid of, and that other people's fear is clouding your vision, your ability to actually identify danger or identify false flags or red flags rather, and parse them between false flags that are just put there by fear. So yeah, get in your own energy, take some time with yourself, If people are naysayers and aren't feeding into your manifesting, leave them out. If you need to be alone for a while, you need to do that. But there's no rush. This manifestation will be here for you. You just need to take the time to heal past relationships so you can actually find the community that you're meant to join and create this beautiful unconventional manifestation. Wow, Pisces, that's really cool. I am super hyped for you. I hope that this goes well for you, and then I hope that you find those people that you're looking for. I know that if you do this healing, you will. So, take it easy. Take